Well, hello everyone, and welcome along to a beautiful Tuesday this week. So, thanks so much for joining me, guys. So, a few hellos and how do you do's to everyone. So, welcome along, Tosca. Thanks for joining me from sunny London or dark London at the moment, I imagine. Welcome along, Jenny. Hi there, Jenny from the beautiful St. Evanage, centre of the world, centre of everything. Hi there, Linda. Welcome. And JC, welcome along. Hi, Susan. Let's have a little look, scrolling down a huge list of little chats there. Franco, welcome along from South Africa. Johannesburg, what's the word? Johannesburg, absolutely. Catherine, welcome along. And Judy, welcome from Canada. And Therese from Hungary. Welcome, guys. And Glennis and Kay and Jim. So everybody's in the building. Everybody has arrived. So, welcome along, guys. I hope you've had a fantastic painting week and a steady build up towards our Christmas time. So, I hope everything's going well on the preparation front and everything's in order. So, I've been out and about this week. I've been, well, I do apologise for yesterday evening. So, I could say I was shopping, but I went to see what did I go and see? I know, Les Miserables. It was on at the theatre. And my daughter's bonkers on theatre, and particularly this production. I think it was the Broadway cast that were doing it, and it was breathtaking, emotional, and all of those things. So I had a fabulous time there, really great. So that's why I was away. So I do apologise, but we're here now. So let's have a little look and see what we can do. So a few quick last minute hellos before we crack on. So welcome along, Vicky. I hope you're well, and I hope that cold has finally left you because it was hanging about for far too long. Hope you're well there. Kathy from Sheffield, hi, and Anna. And your daughter. So hello to your lovely daughter as well, Anna. Send on our, well, I'm sure she can hear it herself, but hi, lovely daughter of Anna. And Linda as well. Okay, guys, let's crack on. So this is what we've got. If you've got one of these, a pencil, doesn't have to be propelling, but a pencil nevertheless is what we need. So I'll just adjust the lead in there. Oh, and kick the table. That's always a good start. Right, so I'm going to do the scamp for a start. I hope you can hear me, and I hope you can see my little pinkies there. If you can't, let me know, and we'll see what we can do about it. Okay, let's start with a rectangle. Yeah, quite a long R in rectangle. There's the rectangle for a start, but I'm going to press on a bit harder. So we're going to start with a rectangle, and we're going to make it, this is the scamp, guys, into one of these. Yeah, rectangle, but then it splays out a bit like a road going into the far distance. There is the rectangle with the edges going slightly tapered, dot in the middle, little curve, dot and curve. Yeah, sounds like a double act from the vaudeville days, dot and curve. So there is my dot and curve. Yeah, so if you're following along, guys, let me just give you 1 or 2 seconds. 1, 2, done. Okay, there's the first little section done. I'm going to flip that out, and I'm going to flip that out. But I'm going to flip that out a bit further, and I'll flip that out. And then I'm going to do that. Yeah. So the great thing about the scamp is it gets you used to the shapes, and you can be very free and easy with it, which is what you need to be. Don't get tight, don't get conscious, don't get anything. See and do, don't think. Yeah. So got that on, and I'm going to do one of these. I always find it better if you make the actual sound of a oval. That's what they do sound like if you ever capture one, but you do need to let it go, like everything in this style. So there's my little curve, but you get the basic shape without doing anything. You're not getting all tense, you're not bothering about a thing. Okay, we've got that on. Looking okay? Good stuff. Thank you, Annie. You like the shape, that's good. So we can move on. The great thing is it's all symmetrical. Right, got that. Then, so you notice, I don't know if I said right at the beginning, we're going portrait today. Yeah, not landscape, portrait. All we're going to do is some fluffy stuff. First, I'm going to do some big fluffy stuff like that. And then see if it looks proportionate to the vessel. Then I'm going to do some smaller fluffy stuff. Yeah, so you'll note, what you will notice is I do circular ones more to the center and oblong, not oblong, but ovally ones more to the edge. Yeah, so there they are. Then that will be just enough. Now, one thing I will do is do a line at the back, but quite high up around there. Taper, 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 paper, paper, taper. There you go. Okay, we don't need to explain these particularly or anything else. We just need big shape, nice shape to start off with, and tapered tabletop. The triple T, everything you need. Okay, guys, so there is the simple scamp. Yeah, we don't need anything more than that. So if you, as I say, if you're painting along, if you're drawing along, if you're flying by the seat of your pants, this is ideal. So we've got the scamp down. We do that very quickly. We keep nice and relaxed because there is no pressure. Anything that takes the pressure off the painting is a good thing. So quick slurp of your beverage, be it tea, coffee, light refreshment, is the perfect time to do it. Don't place your cup down, bang your cup down. Yeah, it's all part of it, I believe. Okay, we've got that on, guys. So I'm going to put this to one side, and I think what we'll be able to do today, with it being a portrait, I should be able to keep both on screen at the same time. Look at that split screen technology. That is fantastic. Yeah, got it. Can't say I don't know anything about technology, or rather actually can say I don't know anything about technology. That's perfect. Right, okay, got my paper, £140 knot, cold pressed, unstretched, all the things that we don't really need, like the unstretchedness of it. I'm going to transfer this over. So don't trace it. Initially, when you're getting used to this, you can do that. Do anything you like. Trace it, use a window and put the image behind it and trace it onto your paper. You'll get used to the shape. But after a while, you'll start to get a little bit more confidence with just going straight for the drawing. Okay, I'm going to put little dots for a start at the top, where I suggest the top of my jug will be, and the bottom. Let's make it a bit higher, about there. Okay, so let's go with that rectangle gizmo we started off with. Then we angle it. Yeah. Dot in the middle, I believe. Then we use that as the center point for the object. So it keeps everything in order. So there we go. Welcome along, Mary. Thank you. That's a very nice comment. Thank you. You're more than welcome. Little line, more of an angle on that one. Line across. Yeah. So remember, this is lighter. We're not pressing down too much on this. Hence, sometimes you can't see it, but it is there. So you'll see with all the melee of stuff we throw on, it will disappear. Remember that little curvy thing we did. We've got the shape. I've got the shape in my memory bank now. My memory bank is, well, a bit like my bank account, pretty empty. But the one thing I do remember was the shape. So a bit of muscle memory will say that I can recall that quite easily. Okay, we've got that. So there's my little stuff, my little jug. Appropriate, proportionate. The handle's not massive, it's not sticking out, it's just, it works as it should do. Does what it says on the tin. So then it was the height, jaggediness, jagged, not McJaggeridiness. There, bit more. There we go. A few little circles. Remember what they were? Circles there. More of a flat line on the edge there. And drooping down a little bit. So it's just a suggestion, a bit of something to work with as we go along. So there we go. And then we have that high table, don't we? High T. Little angle. Okay. We've got it, guys. We've got the drawing down. So let's see if I've got it in screen. I'll just move the scamp out of the way. And then I'll just make sure you can all see that. Let's have a double check. Yeah, I think we're okay. So what do we need to do? Slurp of tea. Exactly. Got it right. Hi there, Susan. I hope you're well. From Berkeley, California. I hope you're doing well. I saw your photos recently. They look stunning. And send my regards to Robin. He's looking mighty fine. And hi there, Louise. Welcome. And I was over in Cambridge. What day is it? On Sunday. I was there on Sunday. So beautiful and sunny. But I walked into the centre of Cambridge and painted one of the churches because I couldn't get close enough to the colleges to park. It took me an hour. I had to be somewhere. So anyway, it was a beautiful place. So if you ever get a chance, guys, Cambridge, get it on your to-do list. Right, let's start with this fellow. Give him a bit of a wipe. Dangerous Dave is in the building. He's ready to rumble. Give him a good clean. Can hear him splashing about there. Oh, he loves a drop of water, does Dangerous Dave. So I'm going to drag a little bit of water down the jug, down and across, and on the handle as well. There we go. So we're going to start off with a little bit of light blue, which I call cerulean blue. Drag down, and a bit there, a bit around there. Look at the carefreeness of the brush strokes. Slightly more pigment this side than this. We always need a lighter side and a darker side. So got that on. Now I've got a little bit of murky gold ochre. Drag and drop. Dragging a few lines just across as well. That's my suggestion of light. Now, I want a little bit darker as well. That's a bit of ultramarine blue with a bit of Indian red. Maybe a bit more Indian red than that. Got it down. This scraping effect is very nice as well. It gets a nice haze on there without doing too much. Not a purple haze or a mauve haze, but just a haze. Drag and drop. So, of course, Vicky, you popped in at Cambridge as well. Isn't it grand? Isn't it great? Punting down by the river, the mathematical bridge. I drove by it, I would say 4 times, which is, I suppose, for maths, it's a perfect bridge to count how many times you go by it. Trying to find a place to park. Right, got all that on, guys. These lines, you notice, taper out slightly. They're always echoing the line of the jug. Got that on? Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Just had a little thought. So I'm going for ultramarine and sepia. Still using Dangerous Dave. My attempt at a willow pattern. Because the pigment's still wet, I'll only have to re-wet it later to put this on. So I'll do it now. Then a half glazed handle. I say half glazed, I mean from the top down. And a little bit of a summing going on up there. But I do like the depth of this colour just here, so it's nice to get it on now. It'll bleed out, but that's fine, mighty fine. Got that on, guys, got that on. Hi there, Sabine, welcome along. So, got all that on. Right, let's have a little look. Let's go for a little bit of cad orange, a little bit of cad red. I'm not putting water down, I'm just going to scrape this around. Scraper 1, scraper 2, scraper 3, scraper 4. Look at me, didn't even know we were going to do that one. Then I'm going to darken it down, go for alizarin. Let's put another one just here. And one just here. Right, got that on. Just going to add a little bit of this as a secondary colour, darker colour. But look how chaotic I am with the brush. I'm not being at all precise. I'm just scraping it around, pushing the brush around. It's the only time I'm being careful. Just there, really. The rest of it doesn't matter. Got that on. Hi there, Kathy. Welcome along. Welcome. So I've got that floating about. I can add more to these as I go along. But now I'm just going to put a bit of water around the center area, a bit at the edges. Let's go for lemon yellow and sap green. Pushing this to the side. So I'm starting here. And just edging it towards the edge. So welcome Char from Niagara Falls. My word, what a fantastic address. You're okay for a shower in the morning, no doubt, living there. I did go there once. It's a spectacular place. Welcome along. Thanks for joining me. A little bit inside there, I like the idea of that. Got that on, so just blob, 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 blob. Yep, got that on. So now we're going to go for intense blue. Ooh. And sap green. Place the brush down, flick it. The scrapey effect, again, I can't emphasize this enough, will give you shapes without trying. Dragging this over the jug at the front a little. Just pop round that bit. Pop, that's my word for not doing too much. Then I've got Cerulean Green. Where you been? Cerulean Green. Flicking that on. Hoovering, chasing. I'm going to put intense blue into that as well. So I'm really getting this side quite boisterous, dark. Hi there, Lena. Welcome along. So again, just that. That's that. It's so easy to be far too delicate with your work, your brush strokes. Vital. They're the linchpin of everything. So if you're very delicate, you can imagine trying to paint something like this. It would take you a long time. It'd dry up by the time you got anywhere with it. So that would lose the benefit of the flow. So the method in the madness does really pay dividends. Just got to be brave, guys. Just be brave. Foolish, brave, same thing. Doesn't matter. It's just dispensing with a lot of that anxiety, that thought that it may go wrong. I tell you what, it may go right. Quite often does. It tends to go wrong when you try and force it too much. So I've got all that on, guys. I might just get a little bit of tissue, not because I'm still watching Les Miserables, but to do one of these. A little pick off. Yeah, that's all it is. A little pick off, little pick off. There's the picky off stuff. Throw it away. It'll come back another day. Oh, tell you what I'll use. She was looking longingly from the tabletop. That was Miss Rigger. Sorry, Miss Rigger. I do apologise. Let's use you just there, my friend. There we go. Pick out that little leaf for me. Thank you. You're an angel. An absolute angel. So what that really does is just dry the area, i.e. that bit, and then it allows me to go in and put wet pigment up to the dry edge, and it'll only go where I take it to. So it's quite a very effective, simple method of not waiting too long, I'll call it. A little bit under there, tickle him under there, negative painting. Ooh, tiny white line. Bit there. What have we got over here? I know, edges of these things. So little lines dragged in. Little flicks over there. Flicky dicky do. And again, just straightening a line there. We'll leave that for a moment. No, I won't. What I want to do is throw in a bit of darker tone. Just really along one edge. And again, a little bit along here. Do I have a reference picture? No, I don't. I took a photo, where was it? A while back. I looked at it today, but it's just building up the shape from memory. I'm not looking at a photo, although it started off as an image that I took. Quite often it's a better way to do it. If you've got the photo in front of you, the reference in front of you, you've got to translate it, but you might end up with the tricky situation of having too much info to go on. So try and carry the idea of the shapes and everything, which really worked out in the scamp. I know I fly through it, but the more you do it, the quicker you get. It's not all about speed. It's about, well, everything is about the enjoyment, and sometimes the speed is part of that. But once you've got the basic shapes down, then that's on the scamp. Then you can translate them, carry them across. Otherwise, you pulled into it too much. So got those. I think what I will do is a bit of that, balance it up a little. Tiny little marks. They don't have to be anything more than that smudge, really. Command a smudge, because you've got your information in these, so your eye will pick up that one as another flower without doing a great deal. So you've got all that going on. Let's have a little look. What else we got? So I like the dark stuff on the pot. Dry the brush off a little, and again, a bit too wet. Again, just with that sort of thing, the eye will come down there, join it up, it'll do the job for you. I never use black at all, Franco. What I generally use for a dark colour is indigo and sepia, or indigo and cerulean violet or cerulean green, any dark colour, and I usually just mix those together because it shows through later on, but black is too dead end. Once you put it on, there's no, you can't go back. You can't lift it off, really. It's a waste of time. You may as well always bank slightly higher. So as well, you're working light to dark, so hence we're working with darker tones now. Just little pockets of detail there. Then Miss Rigger, I believe she's got nothing on. Absolutely nothing on. That's just water. But what I'll use is that to drop into these pools, these wells, these oceans of pigment, and just scoot them about a little. Maybe some suggested stems. They may not hold, they may disappear. But again, this is that thing about don't overthink it, because all your work might disappear anyway. So I don't spend time fretting about one bit, because you neglect the other bits that you can have a go at, if that makes sense. So all this dark stuff is just the chance to negatively scoot in and shape a few bits. Where there's lighter areas, you can float a little bit of pigment off. So that's just rolling around. Now I quite like this bottom bit. Now thinking table, but I'll clean the brush before I do that. Let's just move it up a bit. Pick it off. Start again. Bit of water. What have we got? Now I'd like to tell you what colour that is, but it's a mixture of just murky colours. Now my murky may not be your murky, but I just want murky colours. I'm not really trying to think wood as in table. I'm just trying to think in terms of dark tones, just to drag these out. And then because you've got all this foliage, I'm just going to zoop lines across as if this is a shadow cast by the foliage. That is an excuse there to negatively pick out the edge of the jug. Maybe even higher. There we go. Even higher. We're in out of space. So this is just chopping backwards and forwards. Even those little tiny marks there are enough to show the edge of that thingamajig. But again, so you don't dive in, and that sort of question you asked Franco, I think, about the darks. Don't dive in just with a dark colour. Just build it up a little. So this is quite a melee of stuff at the front, but it anchors everything down. So I got that on, but what I'll do is rinse and repeat that just around here. So that's just negatively picking along the line of that table that we thought we'd have. So I've taken it so far. I'm just bringing a little bit of water down to meet it. And again, and again. You don't have to explain where this goes. You're better off looking out for opportunities to negatively pick out some shapes. So that picks out the back edge of the table quite simply. And you can either do it a dry, well, that's a wet brush actually, but a dry brush, you could smooth it off. Quite nice patchy light is nice and useful. So we've got that on. What I may do, in fact will do, is zoop a bit of this. Just along the edge of the jug, just to harmonise and chop off a little bit of that bottom edge. So now it's just a bit of water on the Dangerous Man. Suggested shadows. A little bit more indigo. Just on the top. Just to enrichen it, if that's a proper word. And the great thing is you've got one of these watercolour removal stick. Very useful. So you plonk the stuff on and you can equally plonk it off. So you don't have to hang about with it. Got that? So let's have a little look. The final thing I could do, maybe, and this is really just for, no, because I enjoy doing stuff. What have I got on there? Just take a bit of that. Where have you been, Miss Rigger? Brun. Just water. I can see there I'm putting water down just to show you there's nothing on it. So a few wet lines, let them soak in a bit, and I can pick them out. They're only delicate. That's the nature of the medium. So the water just lifts a bit of pigment. So you can move the pigment paint about, it'll go wherever you push it to. So that just gives a few nice fluid lines through the center. Welcome along, guys, and Nisette, welcome. There's no need to apologize. The door is always open and the kettle is always on. Hi there, Libby. Welcome along. Welcome, guys. You're all welcome. So, just putting these little bits on now. You can have a look around as well. This is dark area. We're quite light over here. We're still retain that, but you can just pop in. A few little dark zones, as I call them, just to drag the eye in. That's the thing. They don't really have to explain or say anything more than a little bit of depth of colour, or depth of tone, should I say. Try not to make them too symmetrical. Bit over there. So it sort of it gives you that description in pockets. Think about it as pockets of info. So I don't think we're far off, guys. Let's have a look again. That's just a clean brush. I can zoop a bit over the florally jobs. So that's just water on there, nothing more. Just agitating it as you do. Bit of tissue. It picks out some little light blasts of well, paper, really. That's what it actually is in the background. So, excuse me, guys. I think we're about there for that one. That is our little jug of flowers blasting away, a little bit Christmassy, as in we're a bit red. Picking out the table, quite an interesting idea. It's so easy to think, right, table, wood, brown, or something like that. Don't bother about that too much. Just pick it out, and almost this brown sort of can echo and suggest the color of the table. It's just a blast of light that's saturating the tabletop, and the shadow is really emphasizing that. That's how strong the shadow is. So just picking it out at the back and letting it float off, and don't get lost in all this explaining where all of this color needs to go to. You don't, just forget it. Have a cup of tea. Just don't bother about that. Just stop and do. So there we go, guys. There is our pretty moments, a little floral one. So I do hope you have a go at this one. I shall get this onto the Facebook site, and it's going straight onto the tutorials on the website as well. So have a go at this one, and post away whatever you feel about it, because it's a learning experience. We're a great group on there, great group of supportive people, and that's what it needs to be. It's all about enjoyment and learning, and you can get so much out of this. I'm sure you know yourself, when you're painting, you can get so relaxed and so into it that all your cares just float away. Well, for a while anyway. And that's the main thing. So this will be the challenge this week, guys. Have a go. What else have we got? We've got a new, I think we had a new Christmas sketchbook challenge went on yesterday. So that's a a wreath, a Christmas wreath on a door, and that was kindly sent over by Dave and Leslie Eagle, who came over to join me in Wales a little bit earlier in the year. So I hope you're doing well, guys. Thanks for that. And there should be a new one on tomorrow as well. So they're actually cascading onto the website at the moment. So anyway, post away, enjoy the day. Last thing, good point, Anna. I'll just sign it because I forgot. But sign your work, guys. Be proud of it. There we go. Fabulous. Okay, so have a fantastic week. Enjoy yourselves and enjoy your painting journey, guys, always. Take care and thanks for joining me.